Hi, I'm Alan. This is Alan's Firearms and Guns Plus More. And today, what I have is a World War II firearm. I've done a number of them and I've got some great responses. So here is the next one. It's in its original holster, and the holster is in pretty good condition, which is usually hard to find, especially if it was an issued weapon. This is a 1941 Beretta Gardone. They mark them depending on what service it was in. This is the Italian Air Force model. So the Air Force officers carry this cute little gun. It's a 380. Lift the strap and take it out of its holster. It has the typical Beretta spur and the hold hammer. It's got a second magazine in the holster. The holster is properly marked, and so is the gun. And the firearm is in pretty great shape. It's a simple gun. This is in 380. It's nice and compact and small. It is a single action gun. So you would have to have this cocked and locked with the safety on it. Now the safety is in a weird place, but you can get used to doing it, okay? So you want to keep your finger off of the trigger. It's got serrations in the rear. It's got the open slide for the barrel, which is typical of Beretta. It has got a stationary barrel, so the barrel doesn't move, slide, or tilt. It stays straight during the whole process of shooting. And the trigger on here, let me make sure this is nice and empty. Yes, it is. Trigger pull is not as light as a 1911, but I think they did that for safety probably. But you pull it, and it's probably about 5 pounds, 4 pounds. Still a single action pull. And that's it. Let's bring it to the workbench. Field strip it, clean it, lube it, and put it back together again. And this is the Beretta Gardone. I hope I'm saying that right. It's G-A-R-D-O-N-E. It's marked 1941. It was issued by the Italian Air Force in World War II. It was an officer's and pilot's sidearm. Now, they mark these for different areas of the military. So the naval guys had ones with a different stamping on it. This is pretty cool because it has the original holster with belt loop, which could be unhooked so you didn't have to take your belt off. It had a little strap that locked the flap down. It had a pocket for an extra magazine, and you could see the cutout here. That was for 2 reasons: to see easily how many rounds you had left. Also, it was to reduce weight, because carrying a sidearm, weight is always an issue. It's a lot of times it's not the primary weapon, so they want to make sure it's light so the extra weight could be given to ammunition for the heavier weapon. This is in pretty damn good shape. It is marked Gardone V.T-1941, and it's in the caliber 9 Kurt. Now, a Kurt means short, so it's 9mm short. In this country, we call that a 380. It's interchangeable. It's got plain little notch rear sight and just a raised front sight, blade front sight. It's got the typical Beretta drilled out hammer spur, and it has the finger extension on both magazines. It has got a rear European release, and it's got a lanyard cord so you can attach it to your uniform and you don't have to have fears of dropping the gun. Serial numbers on this gun are matching. It is both on the frame and the slide. So let's make sure it's empty. You look down the chamber, look down the magazine well. Now, it's got a strange safety. It's off to the side, so you have to really, if you have long thumbs, it's not so bad, but if you have a short thumb, you got to take it out. You know, the way you would hold this gun this way, I couldn't get the safety down. I had to move it into my hand in a strange position. But This safety is also designed to be part of the takedown system, and we'll show you how that works. Now, the way you take this apart, you put it into safety. See that? Pull it back, and I gotta get the safety up. Put it into safety, pull it back, and then you can push the safety up with your thumb. Okay? Now, once you're in safe mode, you give the front, in most cases you just push this forward, but this gun has never been cleaned as far as I can tell. So you got to push the barrel forward and you can lift it up and take it out. Then you can release your safety, which will allow you to take apart the rest of the gun. And that is how you take apart the gun. And be aware that your safety will come out also. Okay, so let's clean this. You all know I use Strikehold. Strikehold is my product of choice. It is a CLP. CLP stands for cleaning, protectant, and lubricating. So this does all of it. Once I'm done cleaning this gun, I can reassemble the gun and put it away if I was using Strikehold. But if I'm not using Strikehold, if I'm using a regular cleaner, you must lube the gun afterwards with a lubricant for two reasons. The lubricant turns off the cleaner. If you're using gun cleaner and you don't put lubricant everywhere where you touch with the gun cleaner, even if you wipe it dry, it will continue to break down the finish of your gun, and that's not a good thing. So I'm going to put some Strikehold on this cloth. I sprayed a little in here. I'm going to put it on this stick so I can get to all the tight spots. And I'm going to go up and down the slide rails to get all the dirt out of the slots in the slide. And that's really important because this is where actual metal touches metal in the slide rails. That's where the slide runs up and down on the frame. Now this was a bit rough at feeling in there, so there was dirt, actually pieces of dirt in there, granules. Now it's moving nice and easy. Once I get that done, I'm going to get all these little slots in the slide. Now, you notice I use a little stick because wood is not going to mar this. I have a little, even a smaller stick for like really tight places because you want to get everywhere you can. You can see there's a lot of little slots in here. Now I'm going to make sure I get in here, both sides. Very important place to get a new cloth is the battery. So I'm going to get the battery nice and clean, and I'm going to make sure I get underneath the extractor, because that's where failures happen. When dirt gets up underneath the extractor and it doesn't extract the round, it can cause an issue. Get in here, get in here. Okay, now I'm going to remove the spring off of the guide rod and clean that. I'm going to clean off the spring. Now this spring does not look like it is one way. It looks like it can go on either way, but just in case, I'm going to put it on the exact same way I took it off. So before you take it off, remember its orientation. I'm going to get the little safety. And now I'm going to get the barrel. Get this lug back here. Make sure you get your ramp nice and clean. A little extra attention inside the chamber. Make sure the chamber is clean where the shell sits. Okay. Okay, so now we have the frame. I want to get the slots on the side of this frame, right where the slide goes on. Make sure they're nice and clean. The top of the frame, the sides. Make sure I get the whole frame nice and clean. Now I'm going to wipe down this whole firearm with strike hold because it is a cleaner protectant and bring back a little luster to it. Cleaner, remember, wherever you touch it with a cleaner, you got to touch it with oil. Because if you don't, after a while, it will eat up your bluing, which is, this will do the opposite. This is going to protect the bluing. And this is a single stack magazine. I'll never get my hand in there, so I'm going to clean out inside the magazine well like this. I'm going to make sure my ejector is nice and clean. Okay, so that's the cleaning. Now, if you were using regular cleaner, you're going to have to lube the gun. And to lube the gun, I'm going to take a couple of patches off to the side here. Okay, I'm going to take a patch and I'm going to put 3 drops of oil. That should be enough for a small gun like that, and in most cases, if you need more oil, just apply it to the patch. And the first place I'm going to do, while I have the most oil on this rag, it's not spread out on the gun yet, is hit the slots on the slide, because that is actually areas where lubrication is necessary for the operation of the gun. I'm going to do the top, and I'm going to do the side. Okay, at this point, I can just take it now and just wipe down wherever I touched it with cleaner. One place I will put, now I usually don't put oil directly on a gun, on a firearm, but in this case I'm going to put 1 drop of oil back here on the hammer area. And I'm going to carefully work it in by holding my thumb on the hammer and pulling the trigger, and I will not let it fly forward. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm just going to take a rag. I did that 5 or 6 times. I'm going to soak up the excess. Any place that you put oil, you're giving it an area where it can soak up dirt. So, you know, it'll attract dirt. I'm going to put this through the hole where the safety goes through. And there. We're done with that. Slide. 3 drops of oil. 1, 2, 3. We're going to first lubricate where it needs lubrication. The little slots inside the slide. Slots that go on the right on the frame rails. And now I clean up everything same way I did when I was doing it with cleaner. Same way I did it with cleaner, I'm going to do it with lubricant. Get all this done. Push this through here because I did that with the other stuff. I'm going to go in here. Okay. Get back here. So wherever you cleaned it with cleaner, you're going to hit it with lubricant. Just wipe down with the rag. Okay. The pin, safety. Guide rod. Remember the orientation of the spring. I don't think it makes a difference, but you never know with these old guns. They can have a very slight difference, but I don't think it really matters. Okay. We're going to go through the barrel. Not that oil helps the bullet go through, but what it does is it turns off the cleaner. So if you put cleaner inside there, you want to turn it off. And the barrel is serial numbered also, and luckily the serial number matches the serial number on the firearm. Very cool. Okay, so this is a what we call a very correct piece. Okay, so to put it back together again, we need to take the safety and put it in just like that. Then we need to take the spring with this donut side right there, and it'll, when you push it in, it'll push this right up there. Match up the slide with the slide rails, and then when you move it forward, you just guide the spring right into the little hole here. Pull this all the way back, and the slide stop will engage all on its own. Then you can drop your barrel in, tilt it forward, and pull it forward. Now when you release this, it'll put the barrel into the correct position. Safety function check. Safety works. Everything works. When this is in safety and you pull back the slide, it will lock it back. Isn't that cool? Okay. So, thank you for joining me for the Beretta Gardone. Please like and subscribe, and until next time. Thanks for joining me with the 1941 Beretta Gardone. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and until next time.